When Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies came and was putting it together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL had some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like what is the issue? You start looking at that's not mine. That's theirs. They Harper, right? But when you look at M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with M, Dre, and myself, like I'm a shady aftermath. You see what I'm saying? Like there's so much G-Unit Records.
Right.
They forget that I'm M and Dre.
Welcome back to CelebReel. Because this one is messy, dark, and the timeline has people asking questions again. Catching a killer is never simple. Every case is a twisted puzzle. And this one? It's a full-on spiral. The kind where you try to scrub the past off with bleach, bury the guilt in prayer, and still wake up feeling like the story never really ended. And it all circles back to one moment people keep bringing up. A studio session in 2011.
Chill out.
Sorry, Jay-Z. Sorry.
Same room, label power in the building, whispers starting to move different. Because Jay-Z's rumored longtime mistress, Kathy White, was suddenly gone, laid to rest right as the internet claimed she was about to go public. For years, the streets have buzzed with the same ugly question. Did Jay-Z do whatever it took to rise? And now 50 Cent is turning the volume back up, throwing hints, stirring the pot, and making it sound like even Beyoncé's perfect image might not be as untouchable as fans think.
Career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Like you see their kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already.
And here's the part that's lighting up the timeline. Word is 50 is allegedly cooking up a new true crime docuseries, digging into mysterious deaths and disappearances tied to the industry. And if the rumors are real, some of the names he might spotlight are women allegedly connected to Jay-Z or framed online as rivals in the Carter orbit, like Blue Cantrell, Kathy White, and even Aaliyah.
Difference in energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records, plural, 2 of them sold 5 million. That's Get Rich or Die Trying and Massacre. You know, so it's a huge difference in who we are with each other internationally. Let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there. Because America could be purchased. We can buy it with market.
If 50 really goes there, this isn't just gossip anymore. It's a pressure test. Because once you start lining up names, dates, and old rumors, the story stops feeling like random drama and starts feeling like a pattern people won't let go of.
Grammy goes to Good Southern Band Host Shop.
That's explosive. And 50 isn't the only one drawing these lines. Over the years, people who claim they've been close to the Carters have dropped some of the wildest allegations, too. You've got Beyoncé's former drummer making headlines with claims about black magic and extreme witchcraft, a statement that instantly sent fans into a frenzy.
Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay, so I think people are just going to say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you got to remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I'm like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super
you didn't
Bowl?
know that? Yeah, he didn't
Well,
want.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some hater shit. Yeah,
I remember
pushed for it.
Eminem
Yeah.
was like, I'm not going to do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah, and
But I didn't know
think-
that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted them there. I don't know.
Because of what, some of the
I mean,
the back
you
and
know,
forth back in the
it's
day?
competition. You got to think, 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What's 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was what, 9? What was that?
but then
9?
But after that, they did a song together. Remember
yeah,
the whole,
of course, but 50
Gina
was
sneaker
50 was
thing?
always competition for. Then remember Jay said, yo, 50's coming. He told Siegel and them, and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You got to remember, he came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came. And people might shit on G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold.
Then there's Uncle Ron, an ex-bodyguard who went public alleging Jay-Z and Beyoncé helped orchestrate certain downfalls in the industry to protect their position at the top.
The downfall of several artists just to secure their spot at the top.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out.
Now, with rumors that 50 Cent is gearing up for a true crime-style docuseries, the timeline is buzzing again. What secrets could he try to connect? And who else might get pulled into the spotlight? Names like Blue Cantrell, Kathy White, and even Aaliyah. That's a bold claim, and people are still debating it. Now, as 50 Cent gears up to drop this true crime series, fans can't stop talking. Everybody's wondering what hidden truths might finally get dragged into the light about Queen Bee, Jay-Z, and the empire they've built. Because if this goes where people think it's going, it could shake the industry.
In Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go prior to that.
And then the story takes a wild turn. 50 gets pulled into the Aaliyah mystery too. Rumor is his close friend Eminem had a serious crush on Aaliyah back in the day, and he never fully bought the official story behind her tragic death.
I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work.
So now that 50's digging into cold cases and industry secrets, people are convinced Aaliyah's name is about to get dragged back into the spotlight. And next up is Blue Cantrell. Word on the street is Jay-Z was allegedly so into her that people swear he named his first child after her. That's how deep they say it went. But Blue didn't just fade out quietly. She disappeared from the industry in a way that still raises eyebrows, especially after claiming someone tried to poison her.
Wait, you and 50 Cent?
Yeah, I put I respect your record. Yeah, I like that record. It was hot. But I gotta spank you dogs. That was the conversation. No doubt, do your thing.
Right.
Here's the quick background. Blue came up in the late 90s, grinding as a background vocalist for big names, including Diddy. Her voice caught L.A. Reid's attention, and after she performed one of her own songs, he signed her immediately. Everything was lining up until 2001.
Jay signed his contract. The big one was with Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those
Wondering what you talking
trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
This guy. Wow. You're going to let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys. You're going to let him say that?
he had one.
Exactly.
He had
And
one.
he ain't show up.
He has like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he's been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
Hold on. You're not wrong. At the same time.
After that, he got some shit. He started drinking. His pictures were in like, he thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because he's no longer viewed as like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow. So that's the deal.
Yeah, that's the deal. Like, the other ones didn't count as much as that one did.
Blue dropped her debut album, So Blue, and it went crazy. Blue's rollout was flying high, 2 Grammy noms, momentum building. Then the drama started bubbling. Around that time, rumors say Blue got a little too close to Jay-Z, right as he was reportedly linking with Beyoncé, who was stepping into her solo era.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He has like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he's been down. Look, he had one, bro.
By 2003, Blue dropped Bittersweet, and Beyoncé dropped Dangerously in Love. Same window, same spotlight, and the whispers got loud. Was there tension behind the scenes? People claimed Beyoncé felt threatened and even suspected something deeper between Jay and Blue. Blue denied anything romantic, but when Wendy Williams brought it up, Blue's awkward laugh and "I can't really answer that" only fueled the talk. Then it got messier.
Talent. Nas. The best. Jay-Z. Good.
When Jay and Beyoncé released the visuals for 03 Bonnie and Clyde, Blue allegedly accused them of copying the vibe from her own Roundup promo. And fans really spiraled over the Sean Paul overlap. Blue's Breathe was everywhere in late 2002. Then Beyoncé dropped Baby Boy with Sean Paul months later, and even sang Let Me Breathe.
The kids even have Grammys. Like, they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming.
Coincidence? Or a petty breadcrumb? The internet connected dots fast. Then Blue took it up a notch and basically warned Beyoncé directly. In an interview, she said something like, maybe she's doing it for press, but if she goes there with me, that's the wrong move. That alone sent shockwaves because Blue wasn't acting scared. She was drawing a line. Blue kept it blunt, but classy on the surface. If she's being negative, she doesn't need to be. She's beautiful. But if you've got issues with your man, deal with him. Don't take it out on the girl.
This young lady.
You know, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work. You know, some of you gonna go home tonight and feel like you've been robbed. Some of you may get robbed. Some of you don't belong in the category. Oh, no, that was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth. But
that line had everybody talking. Then the story turns dark. Fast forward to September 2014. Blue was reportedly seen wandering Santa Monica around 2 a.m., claiming someone poisoned her with gas, per TMZ. Bystanders called police, and she was taken to the hospital for an evaluation.
I'd like to thank my beautiful husband, my beautiful 3 children who are at home watching.
After that night, her career momentum felt like it flipped overnight, dropped from her label, doors closing, and the whispers came back heavy. Was this just a breakdown, or something bigger that pushed her out? Or did someone powerful have a hand in it? That's the question that keeps crawling back every time Blue's name resurfaces, because her fall wasn't slow. It wasn't a gradual, the music changed, fade out. It felt like a hard stop. And when something shuts down that fast, people don't just assume bad luck. They assume pressure. They assume somebody made a call.
I laugh so hard. I laugh so hard because, if you know Solange.
And that's exactly why the internet keeps dragging Jay-Z and Beyoncé into the conversation. Not because there's proof sitting on a table, but because in the public imagination, the Carters represent the final boss level of industry power.
For us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome. You see, to break that cycle. For Black men and women, to see a different.
The kind of power that doesn't need to trend to be real. The kind of power that moves behind closed doors, in meetings you'll never see, with consequences that show up in someone else's career. Now, Jaguar Wright has been one of the loudest voices pushing that narrative. She's basically been saying for years that artists who are perceived as threats to that empire don't always get defeated in the open. They get exhausted, isolated, redirected. Their opportunities shrink. Their support dries up. Then the public calls it a downfall, like it just happened naturally.
On the other foot, if the transgressions had been on her side, do you think you would be able to be as forgiving of her as she was of you?
I hope. Again, because I love her the same way. No matter what side, I love her the same way. I pray that I will, because her strength and her, man, this is the strongest woman I know. Like, her and my mother, they battling for number one.
Jaguar's claim is bold, and it's also the kind of claim that lives in that gray zone. It can't be confirmed from the outside, but it won't die either, because it matches what fans already believe about how the industry works. Not with contracts and headlines, with leverage, with access, with who gets protected and who gets quietly replaced.
Catching the killer isn't easy. Lucky for me, I got friends, and they got ideas. Each episode is its own special study in solving them. I'm Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and this is 50 Ways to Catch a Killer.
And she didn't stop at general talk. She started reaching back to old Def Jam era stories and pointing at incidents from the early 2000s, right around the time Jay-Z was moving like a man who could not lose. Blueprint era dominance, the label machine behind him, the industry lined up. Jaguar hinted that something happened back then involving a Def Jam artist that people treated like just another crazy moment at the time. But in her framing, it wasn't random. It was a warning, a message, a reminder of who was allowed to shine and who wasn't. Again, none of that is proven. But what makes people listen is the pattern she keeps pushing. When certain stories pop up, they get swallowed. When certain names get close to the heat, they suddenly disappear from the conversation. And when the public asks why, the industry gives you the softest answer possible. Timing, mental health, label disputes, creative differences.
Have you ever kissed Jay-Z romantically?
No. No, I can't answer that.
A clean explanation that leaves no fingerprints. Then Jaguar turned her focus right back to Blue Cantrell. And this is where it got intense, because she didn't just mention her. She basically pleaded with her. Speak up. Tell it straight. Say what you know. Say what you saw. And when somebody begs like that publicly, it signals one thing. They believe the story is bigger than what's on record. They believe the silence is forced, not chosen. They believe there are details Blue has held back because saying them out loud could come with consequences. So fans start spiraling again. Because if Blue knows something, and if she stayed quiet this long, the next question is obvious. Why? Was she warned? Was she pressured? Was she simply trying to protect her peace? Or was she made to understand that telling the full story would cost her more than it was worth?
Person that robbed me for like $500 for a session ended up being in the studio while I was there with the president of the...
And just when the conversation feels like it can't get heavier, Jaguar drags another name back into the light, Kathy White. That's where this whole thing shifts from messy music beef into true crime energy. Because Kathy's name has been floating around the internet for years as someone allegedly linked to Jay-Z, and her death has been treated like a closed chapter by some, and an unfinished story by others. Jaguar's angle is basically this. If Kathy was connected to powerful circles, then the public version of events might not be the full version. She suggests Jay-Z and Diddy know more than what people were told. And she frames it like there are missing pages, conversations that never made it to print, timelines that don't get discussed, and people who clammed up fast. And then she takes it even further, hinting that Kathy's case might not be isolated. That it fits into a darker pattern she believes exists in the industry. Stories of people getting too close, speaking too loudly, knowing too much. And then suddenly, something happens. A collapse, a vanishing, a tragedy. And the machine keeps moving like nothing happened. Now, to be clear, these are allegations and internet theories, not confirmed facts. But you can't ignore why it hits so hard, because it taps into the fear that fame doesn't just come with perks, it comes with rules. And if you break those rules, the punishment isn't always public. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it looks like a breakdown. Sometimes it looks like bad luck. Sometimes it looks like you fell off. And that's why people won't let Blue Cantrell's timeline go. It's not just her music, it's the way her story felt like BP, before and after. And the more names that get pulled into the same orbit, Jaguar, Diddy, Jay, Beyoncé, Kathy, the more the internet starts treating it like one web, not separate incidents. So the real tension right now is simple. If Blue ever decides to speak fully, is it just going to be a personal testimony? Or does it open a door that a lot of powerful people don't want opened? That statement shook people, and it instantly reopened the Kathy White timeline. Here's the fast rewind. In early September 2011, blogs and local outlets reported the sudden death of Kathy Anna White, often labeled online as Jay-Z's alleged mistress. The rumors originally caught fire after talk that Kathy was seen in Las Vegas at Town nightclub with Claudia Jordan, allegedly seated with Jay-Z and Diddy. A resurfaced party photo only made the chatter louder. At first, the story didn't fully explode, but once her death hit the internet, people started side-eyeing the dates hard because Beyoncé announced her pregnancy at the VMAs on August 28, 2011, and Kathy was reportedly found dead just days later. Beyoncé's reveal dominated headlines, while Kathy's story barely got traction outside gossip corners. And that's where the Connect the Dots crowd went into overdrive, especially with old surrogate rumors getting dragged back up. Then the plot thickened again when another familiar name resurfaced: Carmen. Her comments popping back into the conversation poured gasoline on the speculation, with people now claiming she's hinting the Carters' influence runs deeper than the public ever sees. Carmen's been hinting that Jay might have exposed himself without even realizing it. She even reposted lyrics from his Monster verse, and fans instantly started treating it like a hidden confession, replaying every line while the darker rumors swirl. Now people are holding their breath, waiting to see if 50 Cent's upcoming true crime docuseries dares to go there, because the timing, the names, and the disappearances are starting to feel way too connected for some viewers. What do you think? Wild coincidences? Or something darker behind the Carter empire? Drop your take in the comments. And if you want updates as this unfolds, like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell.